spend a day in my life working remotely in Bali as I create content, support clients, work from cafes, and share the behind the scenes of a soul-led brand and business while traveling. In this vlog, I arrived to Ubud a few days earlier to spend some spacious days on my own and get grounded in my body before leading my Bali retreat. So this is my desk setup, and I love it so much because it is facing towards so much greenery, so it feels so nice and abundant. And I just have a few things that are my essentials for working remotely in Bali and having this digital nomad office. I have my laptop, of course. It's the MacBook Air, and it's in this gold color, along with my Samsung portable SSD, which is normally the hard drive that I like to carry. I do a lot of meditations and writing. I also create different marketing strategies and brand strategies, and I've been writing a lot as well and doing the back end of my programs. I've got my headphones, which are my Sony noise cancelling headphones. These are the headphones that I normally use when I'm editing videos. And then underneath it, I've got this pink bubble wrap pouch from Glossier. The girls who know will know. I actually use this for a lot of my other tech stuff. So my wired headphones, other hard drives, my chargers, cords, that kind of thing. And then on the right, I've got a coffee, of course, ready to get stuck into it. And then my journal, pen, and crystal. I normally also have some incense too, but I have yet to get that. So this is my working remotely in Bali setup. This time round, I found an Airbnb which was described as an art stay with modern luxury design, which my creative being was immediately drawn to. The interior was minimal and design-led, and it was only a short scooter ride from the main center of Ubud. Breakfast was included, so most mornings I would bring my journal down and write whilst having my first meal of the day. Breakfast in Bali always makes me so happy. The vibrant colors, tropical fruit, so much prana. So morning journaling for me comes in the form of stream of consciousness, gratitude journaling, and manifestation scripting. Really making the most of my mornings by not only feeding my body, but also feeding my soul. A journal prompt that I ask myself that I want to share with you is, what does my heart call called to do today? Not just from the level of the mind or what I should be doing, asking myself the real questions and actioning them. What I've noticed is that people often stay stuck because they're trying to make the perfect decision, but there usually isn't one perfect path. There is simply the next aligned step. The next aligned step that your heart feels called to do today, and then every next aligned step reveals the next one after that. When I answer this question openly and be radically honest with myself, I know that I'm pursuing my vision without abandoning authenticity in the process. After breakfast, it was time for filming and some content creation. You know what I love most about content creation? The freedom to express your unique perspectives, creativity, topics that are on your heart, and connect with like-minded people from all around the world. Honestly, success doesn't mean sacrificing yourself. I speak a lot about creating soul-aligned success. And soul-aligned success isn't just about more income. It's also about creating a life you want to wake up to and living a life that actually lights you up and makes you feel alive.
Today I'm sharing 5 scripting manifestation techniques that you can start doing today, plus a secret step at the end for faster results. So make sure you stick around.
There are so many people out there that are completely miserable because they think they chose a more profitable path. But trust me when I say you can make money being your authentic self and doing what you love. But first, you need to become the woman your vision requires. In my latest book, Your Soul Purpose, I write about this. I write about self-concept and how every dream will ask something of you. Every desire that you have will require an identity shift because the vision is inviting you into a bigger version of yourself. And the question is whether you're willing to become the woman with her courage, her confidence, her self-belief, and her energetic capacity it requires. After a few hours of yapping to the camera, I headed into town to one of my favorite cafes I like to work from in Bali for a matcha and live handpan sessions. Mudra is a cafe I always come back to when I'm in Ubud. You'll see it in my other solo travel Bali vlogs too. I specifically like to come here for the very fancy matcha as it reads on the menu, but more specifically for the live handpan sessions. It's just so soothing and so relaxing, and I just drift off into bliss listening to it all. I swear a few years ago I thought freedom would come from working harder, but now I've realized freedom comes from creating a brand and a business that supports the life you actually want to live. My number one value is freedom, and living in alignment with that takes courage. Courage to choose uncertainty over comfort at times, courage to build a life that doesn't always make sense to other people, but makes complete sense in your body. Because freedom isn't just about being location independent for me, it's also the decision to keep listening to what feels true and then consciously taking the steps to let go. Be free from any particular fears, doubts, negative thoughts, resistance, letting everything else go to live in alignment with the dreams you desire and how your soul wants to live and create in this lifetime. After soaking it all up, I got into some client work for the day and then continued editing some of my manifestation videos.
So I do love working from Mudra Cafe because great food, great ambiance. They have live music as well and great matcha too. I really, really love the matcha here. Working on my scripting video, and actually, can you see it? I love making these graphics for my YouTube videos, and this is how this one looks like, where I'm going through the scripting techniques. Very journal-like. Gratitude scripting. This is a must-watch. And then the 5 senses activation, which is one of my favorite scripting manifestation techniques. I'll link it up on the screen above so you can check out how that video turned out.
Today I had a massage booked in, which at the beginning of my journey, I used to frame this as giving myself a reward, but have since reframed it to be a way for me to surrender, as well as just be a normal part of my lifestyle that I consciously choose to live. Freedom, right? pleasure, right? This is the essence of feminine energy. Being in a state of rest whilst still allowing myself to receive. Wildflower. That's nice. Mandarin.
So your treatment today is for deep cleaning and facial? Thank you.
Oh, they're all nice. I like to say to my clients that when you allow yourself and your body to rest, it signifies to the universe that you trust. Even when you rest, you can still receive. I don't believe your brand and business exists simply to make money. I believe your brand and your business is one of the greatest personal development journeys you'll ever experience. It will reveal your hopes and dreams. It will reveal your fears, your gifts, your creativity, your patterns, your strengths, and your capacity to receive, to hold, and to grow sustainably. The business becomes the vehicle, but the real transformation is who you become along the way. Questions like, how do you move from having a vision to actually building it? How do you create momentum without burnout? How do you do less but earn more? How do you trust yourself enough to take action before everything feels certain? These are the kind of conversations we have inside my experiences. Your Soul Purpose, the Activation, and Soul Strategy, a space I'm creating for leaders, creators, and visionaries who want to create an abundant personal brand and online business that feels deeply aligned with their soul. This is a space for embodied leadership and becoming the woman your vision requires. A place where your life and your work become an expression of your soul. So if you are craving and ready to live with more freedom, deeper purpose, and true alignment, I'd absolutely love to welcome you inside. The waitlist is now open, and I'll leave the link below for you to join me inside this exciting, transformative space. Okay, I'm going to wrap up this video here. Thank you so much for joining me in this day in the life vlog, working remotely here in Bali, and I'll see you in my next video. Until then, always sending you all the groovy love.